the gun community hive mind. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average gun community hive mind rant, fueled by pre-workout right before the gym, video enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is I'm going to outline exactly where your focus should be if you're in the gun community, the gun culture, whatever, in the hive mind, because there's so much consumerism BS out here that I see it every day. This video is in direct response to your comments and on Limber Grenade's video talking about people being bamboozled out of their money in CQB courses, right? I make these videos on my own channel talking about you are carrying too many magazines, you're investing in night vision too early on when you're not ready, or you're too focused on special threat plates and you should just wear level 4 plates or chest rig or nowhere in between, right? And you're too focused on the consumerism aspect. This video and the goal of this video is to steer some of you guys back on path. You're out here. You're asking questions that don't matter. Trench, what type of AK should I have? What? You shouldn't have an AK. You should have an AR-15 chambered in 5.56 that is a 10.5 to 20-inch barrel based on your area with the appropriate optic, right? You guys are so far off, some of you, in La La Land that you can't even get started. So today, this video is going to outline exactly what you should be doing, where your focuses should be. Now, I'm going to preface this because people joke all the time about pedigree, but you have to understand where I'm coming from. I have trained militaries in a number of countries over the past 13 years. And I made a quick list. And those of you guys that have been around on the channel before, you know that anytime I'm in the gym parking lot with pre-workout in my system and I have the notebook out, that means it's serious. So this is going to be one of the more serious videos, okay? So let me finish up this pre-workout and we're just going to get into it. I'm going to list off some quick pedigree and then I'm going to give you your marching orders for the gun community hive mind. Cheers. Okay, if you want to support the channel, hit the like button, do all this stupid YouTube stuff, comment down below, and donate monetarily. Let's get right into it. Okay, I almost called y'all drill sergeants. I'm getting fired up. I have to call my candidates drill sergeants. That's how we refer to them. So I guess I'm just, hey, drill sergeant. These are some countries that I've trained other armies, okay? Directly trained, been a primary or assistant instructor. Lithuania, the Republic of Georgia, Romania, Latvia, Estonia, Poland, Germany, Ukraine, the United States, Italy, the list goes on. I've trained Canadians, I've trained Georgians, Romanians, Lithuanians, Ukrainians. I've trained them all, okay? And that is not me saying I'm the end-all be-all. You just have to understand where my frame and experience and reference point is. I've trained, we did the math the other day, I've trained 10 to 11 cycles either of trainees or drill sergeant candidates on top of all the things I just listed. So I have trained, I think the sphere of influence was over 5 million. Over 5 million either I've trained directly or I've trained an instructor to go train their army, right? So my sphere of influence, not necessarily people I've trained directly, but I have trained a lot of people on the things I'm about to cover. And that is why I'm so passionate when I see videos of these, I'm not going to name names. We'll just say highly sponsored, tattooed, bearded individuals that have been out of the game for a long time, okay? Regardless of what their pedigree was back in the day, they may or may not be being paid to peddle a product to make you buy said product or peddle a class, whatever, okay? They're all over the gun industry and they are misleading you guys. They're stealing your money and they're not giving you, I try to give you guys this information for free, right? I am just some drill sergeant, leader, instructor on the internet that has the knowledge in my brain and I'm trying to give it to you for free. For free. But all these individuals that have high production quality and sponsorships are misleading you. So I'm going to get you guys, my followers, back on track. So now that you understand my frame of reference and where I'm coming from and a little bit of the pedigree behind it, let's get into it. The hive mind. If you're ever in my comment section and you're about to ask a question about anything at all, I need you to answer the following questions first. Are you proficient in physical training? Are you in physical shape to be asking the question you're about to ask? But Trench, what do you mean by that? Are you fat? Are you fat? If you're fat, if you're obese, instead of asking the question you're about to ask about the rifle or the handgun, or I got this random magazine from the trunk of my Mustang. What magazine, Trench? Trench, what magazine should I be running? Should it be the blue follower? Should it be the green follower? Should it be the tan mag? Are you fat? Okay, let's work on the physical fitness aspect first. Because if you're morbidly obese, doesn't matter what magazine, you could have a belt-fed machine gun, you're not going to move very quick and you're going to die, okay? So let's just, physical fitness. What do I mean by physical fitness? You need to be in a healthy BMI. Now, if you're some of you guys are power lifters. If you're a power lifter and you're technically outside of your healthy BMI, but you're physically fit, you can still ruck, you can still run, but you got a little bit of, you got a little bit of extra body fat, but you're still in excellent physical shape. Cool. As long as you meet the criteria, you can still run 2 miles. I would say, reasonably, I don't want to give you let's say an 8:30 minute mile, okay, to 9 minute. If you can run 2 miles in 8:30 to 9 minutes and you're still in very good physical shape, cool. You can check the box of physical fitness. If you're not there, if you're not physically fit, then you're going to die. You hear it on the internet all the time. But so many guys are like, Trench, should I have the triple-decker stagger magazine with night vision combo? Or should I have the other night vision? Which one is it? I'll get one of my concealed carry mags out right now. Okay. Should I have the 21 rounds as my backup mag? Should I be running the hollow points or what magazine? Okay. Well, first and foremost, let's start with physical fitness, okay? So, let's say you're physically fit. Moving on from there. Rifle marksmanship. Now, I want to pause right here in the video. If your YouTuber that you follow on the internet tells you that I am just a civilian, right? They're speaking to their audience. They're saying, we are just civilians, so we don't need to adhere to the Army standard or the Marine standard. That is hilarious because the Army standard is set to have a large body of people to put them in accordance with the standard to make them physically fit and lethal, to close with and destroy the enemy. So anytime a influencer on the internet tells you you don't need to follow the standards set by the military because they're trying to meet a contract requirement or they're trying to meet some other requirement, they're misleading you. The Army standard is there to make sure you're physically fit and you're capable to close with and destroy the enemy. Is that not what you're trying to do as a Minuteman? Last time I checked, it literally is. Okay, so after physical fitness, rifle marksmanship. What do I mean by rifle marksmanship? If you're going to ask me a question in the comment section of, Trench, why do you hate LPVOs? But you cannot group 4 out of 5 rounds in a 6 centimeter circle from 25 meters and 8 out of 10 rounds in a 6 centimeter circle so 2 5-round groups from 25 meters in a 6 centimeter circle, 8 out of 10 rounds, right? If you can't do that, then we don't have a conversation to be had because you are not even shooting the capability of the weapon, right? That is a compliment. If someone says you're shooting the capability of the gun, that is a compliment. So if you're in the comment section and you're saying things like, oh, why does he have the sling that this company has and not this other company? Can you group properly? Okay, let's say you can group. Now, can you do basic malfunction clearing and reload drills and load procedures? Basic. Do you know how to get in the workspace, lock the bolt to the rear, 3-point safety check, mag in, pull down because you can, bolt forward, chamber check, forward assist, and low ready? If you can't do the basics, then why are we going to discuss products? Why are we going to discuss consumerism if you can't even load your rifle properly? If I see you and you're loading your weapon and you're looking down, you're not even eyes up in a proper workspace, loading your rifle properly, or conducting a tap rack in your workspace properly, or conducting remedial action in your workspace properly, I don't have time to have the conversation with you in the comment section of why X product is better than other product, of why you only need 7 magazines. You guys understand what I'm putting down? So to add to that, you call yourself a marksman, you call yourself a shooter, you call yourself a rifleman, a minuteman. Are you able from zero, okay, from 50 meters to 300 meters with 40 rounds, 4 magazines of 10 rounds each, okay, are you able to hit 36 out of 40 targets at a random array? Sometimes 300 will pop up, 150, 200, and 250. Can you engage them from near to far and hit 36 out of 40? From different positions, from the standing supported, from the kneeling supported, from the prone supported, from the prone unsupported, and from the standing unsupported. Can you hit 36 out of 40 rounds? If you can't, then you're not an expert with your rifle, and we don't have a conversation to be had because you can't even meet the basic criteria. Okay? Moving on from there, I can feel the pre-workout kicking in, so we're gonna kind of expedite our rate of travel here. Okay, so we've talked about rifle marksmanship. So if you ask me anything, Trent, should I buy? Should I invest in? Should I do X, Y, or Z? Are you physically fit? Are you a rifleman? Do you meet the basic criteria? Can you do the basics? Do you understand the standing supported, the standing unsupported, the kneeling supported, the kneeling unsupported? Is your sling even set up properly that in the kneeling unsupported you can properly tighten it to add additional stability? If you don't understand height over bore, then we don't even have a discussion to be had. Okay, let's assume you are physically fit now and you meet the criteria to be a rifleman. Okay, let's move on. And let's assume you have somehow surpassed the 300 blackout bullshit and the 5.56 crink and the 300 blackout crink and the 7.62 by 39 horseshit that is all over the internet telling you to go buy this AK or go buy this battle rifle. Then you can't even, you don't even know, no, don't even get me started, okay? But let's assume you have met the criteria and we're moving on. What should you focus on next? Squad unit tactics. Now, a lot of guys are going to think, Trench, I'm not in the Army. I'm not in an infantry squad or an infantry platoon, a rifle squad. I don't need to know squad unit tactics. Well, you and your knight's armament, or you and whatever rifle and your quad nods and all the stuff you got going on are going to matter about 1% when that group of dudes with PSA ARs is maneuvering on you and has effective fires. Okay? So, you're physically fit, you're a rifleman. Squad unit tactics. What do I mean by that? I have a whole bunch of videos talking about everything I'm about to discuss. This is what you should be studying next. Break contact, react to contact, squad assault, react to indirect fire, establishing a near ambush, establishing a far ambush, react to near ambush, how to conduct a raid, how to conduct an operations order. Okay, Sergeant Major eats sugar cookies, situation, mission, execution, sustainment, command and control. Yes, I'm tracking that sustainment has changed, but I still refer to it as sustainment. Digging a fighting position, camouflaging yourself and your equipment. This is the next tier of Minuteman. So it's physically fit, rifleman, okay? I didn't fall victim now to the 300 blackout bullshit or the 10 millimeter bullshit or the 357 SIG or the what type of PSA crink should I buy or you name it. Oh, well, this YouTuber says I should carry 12 magazines on my person. Let's say you assume you didn't fall victim to all that horse shit and you have 7 magazines and you have a proper sustainment loadout for 48 hours. Well, squad unit tactics, okay? Again, break contact, react to contact, squad assault, react to indirect fire, ambush, react to near ambush, prepare and conduct a raid, digging a fighting position, operations order, camouflage yourself and your equipment. Once you accomplish that, now we're moving into night vision. Only now, at this point in your journey to become a prepared Minuteman, are you saying, I'm ready to buy night vision. Now you go purchase those PVS 31s or those PVS 14s. And then guess what you're going to do? All the things I just discussed except with active aiming and passive aiming. Except instead of just doing your red dot or your ACOG, now you're doing it at night. And you're going to go through it all. How to walk in the woods with night vision. How to qualify on your rifle with night vision. How to draw your handgun under night vision. How to conduct squad unit tactics under night vision. Only now are we even discussing night vision. Only now. Okay? That is where the entry to night vision should be. Only now are we refining. Okay, I know now that I've done this workup, that the plate carrier I'm using needs to be adjusted. I need a different plate carrier. I need a different chest rig. I need a different camelback. I need a different Nalgene. I need whatever. Only now. And only now are we getting into CQB, urban fighting. Proficiency in urban fighting. And this is where I'm going to end this video. It takes an infantry company 1 year to go from battle buddy team live fire all the way up to company live fire for basic CQB. 1 year. So if a gun tuber X training group, Whamley training group, right? We'll just refer to it as that. Whamley training group, okay, says you should do a 3-day basic CQB course to get proficient. It takes an infantry company 1 year to go from basic rifle marksmanship to the glide path to being proficient as a company. If you take out all the logistical nightmare of just going from position to position around the United States or around the world, let's say it takes 6 months for you and a team of 9 people. It would take 6 months of training every month, every couple weeks for you to become amateur level proficient in CQB. Amateur. Kindergarten. I'm getting fucking pissed now. It would take you and your best 8 friends every couple weeks going out and conducting buddy team live fire in a shoot house, going from glass houses to actual shoot house dry to the actual shoot house blank. If you don't have blanks, just do it dry again, to doing it live. Crawl, walk, run. And then doing it as a team properly. And then doing it as a squad. It would take you 6 months to be amateur. So why is it when I turn on my YouTube, I see these Whamley training groups? Cool Immortal sticker, by the way, for my platoon. Boom. Pretty badass. Okay. This is me stirring up the drama, unfortunately. Why is it every time I turn on my phone and go to YouTube, I see the Whamley training group selling bullshit? It's because they're making money hand over fist off of you. They are profiting off of you based on consumerism. So, and I'm going to give you your marching orders, right? If you got this far. For CQB, this is what you need to know. You need to understand points of domination. You need to understand how to stack in sectors of fire, okay? 2-man or 4-man minimum, okay? You need to understand points of domination, how to stack properly with sectors of fire. You need to understand basic room clearing procedures. Clear high after you get to your points of domination. Clear high, clear low, check for dead space, search the living, search the dead, restack, flow. That's the basics. What I just described to you would take you months to master. So, in summary, guys, you have to understand the hive mind, the gun community hive mind. If right now Garantham said, dude, the best bullets in the world, we'll even say the worst. If he said the worst, even better. The worst magazines in the world are the USGI, okay? Focus for me, camera. The USGI Blue Follower M855 Alpha 1 rated magazines. If Garantham released a video right now saying that these are the worst magazines in the world, you would have people in Mississippi, Arkansas, Montana, all over the United States saying, well, you know, Garantham said that these magazines are trash. That is the issue, okay? That is the problem. You have to understand, it's nothing against Garantham or anybody personally. You have to understand that the gun community hive mind is established to sell you a product, okay? So if you're sitting out here watching the Whamley training group sell you a product on night vision, CQB, right? And they're out here and they're trying to sell you, night vision CQB class or whatever. They are just in the consumerism market. But what you should do as a adult, you should prepare yourself based on the continuum that I just outlined. And if at any point a gun tuber tells you that is the Army standard, not the civilian standard, that should raise a red flag in your brain that they are coping with the ability to be that it's okay to be fat, that it's okay to not be proficient with your rifle, that it's okay not to be proficient with your handgun. Anytime a YouTuber tells you something and says it's okay to not, you should listen up and you should take note of that, okay? All right, my pre-workout is in full effect. We went through the list of notes. I don't think I skipped anything, but if I did, the bottom line is simple. PT, rifle marksmanship, squad unit tactics, then introduce night vision, then CQB. It takes a long time to become proficient. You need to practice the basics and not consume things and follow trends, okay? That is the message. If you enjoyed this gun community hive mind video, hit the like button. Comment down below what you want to see next. If you have thoughts on this issue or you've seen buddies of yours fall victim to this, okay? This is my face when you fall victim to the Whamley CQB training course, okay? If you've seen guys fall victim to this, comment that down below. Consider becoming a member of the Patreon if you want to. And until next time, this is going to be Trench Grenade, your average. I am high on pre-workout right now. Rant enjoyer on the gun community hive mind that your mom said that we have at home, signing out.